Hi, welcome to the House of Valentina. Today we are in my family room, and as I always do, I just love to be able to move things around season by season. And since we have now got all of the Christmas and holiday things packed up, there's still these last few weeks of winter before we really get to spring, when it's cold and we need a fire and we want to warm the room up, and we're not quite ready for all the brightness of spring and summer, and there's these moody days when it's cold and we just want to be cozy by the fire and sit with a good book and a great cup of coffee. And I love these days so much. So I'm super excited to be able to share with you today how we've restyled the space for these last few weeks of winter and early spring. Let me just take you around. Maybe we'll start over here and move around like we did when we did the last one for the fall. If you haven't seen that one, you definitely want to check it out, because the room is still so many of the same things, but we've just kind of tweaked so you can see which way you like it best. I just love this little area. I think that it's just one of those spots. It's the thing that I see when I come out of my bedroom in the morning. It's what I see when I walk in the door, and it's part of our home that is a little bit like an entry, because we actually don't have a real entry here. And I think what's fun about it is that it's just a great spot to just load up books, load up whatever it is that's speaking to me at the moment. And you can tell that right now I found this really cool planter at Home Depot, and I thought that was just amazing. And I liked having something that felt a little bit rustic to go right against this little planter that I found at our local garden center. I mean, it's crazy, right? And we've got the little Schefflera growing in there, and a picture of Paris in the rain, which is, ironically, it seems like every time I go to Paris, it rains. And usually it pours. It's not like a mist. It's like pouring rain. And it's almost like a little bit of an ironic joke with our family, because it's like, it's probably gonna rain when we go to Paris, and we know that we're just gonna have a great time. So I love that. And of course, New York. And I found this. So we were in this little tiny section of the market with my mother-in-law. She'd actually come to visit us in Morocco, and we were in the Medina. She loved to go to, the Medina is the old part of the city where you go like downtown. Well, it's not downtown. It's the market where you would go to buy your rugs, or if you wanted to have something handmade. Everything is done in the Medina. It's the center of the city, basically. And so we were down, oh, he's dusty. We were down in this little area, and I saw this camel, and I just utterly loved it, and I had to have it. And of course, I'm not allowed to take any of these out. If Jack was here today, he would tell you how much he loves these, and he's always turning them over. Usually the little tic-tac-toe board is sitting down on the table, but I've got it so full right now that I kept it close, and I stuck it up here. And I just love a little bit of the mercury glass. It's a cute little lamp from IKEA. And of course, bringing in some beautiful greenery is always one of my favorite things to do. I've got these lamps that just help it to feel a little bit modern, but I don't want it to feel too modern. I want it to feel approachable and collected and warm and interesting. Maison Paris Chic at home. I've got more sitting on my coffee table, but I love these books because they have these amazing, beautiful, inspiring homes that are out in the countryside, and some are modern and some are not, and there's pretty much something, I don't know, I think there's just all different ways to see how you might want to live in the countryside. Over here we have the Fireplace, which so many of you have really just come to know us by. That's painted in Midnight Oil by Benjamin Moore. The room is Polar Bear by Bear, and I just love the drama that it brings to the room, and I keep swearing that I'm gonna put a mirror up there, and you know, I just don't know if I'm ever going to. I finally just accepted that it may just never happen, because now that I have this beautiful vase up here from Home Depot. Can you believe that vase? Oh my goodness. If you saw how our floral greenery styling video that I did recently, you got a sneak peek of this room, and I have, oh my gosh, like I bought so many of these already for clients because everybody loves them. They have this amazing texture and they're gorgeous. And when you put all this greenery inside of it, it's just, it's magnificent. So this is my spot here. I love to sit at the end of the sofa, usually with some book that I've either pulled from the table here or from the shelf back here. And I just love to be able to sit on the sofa and just relax, and everybody's just kind of running around. The kids usually will be sitting in the chairs. The dog's usually, you know, making his rounds with everybody. And a lot of times I'll have a cup of coffee, and I just love to just grab these books, and I want my coffee table to be very interactive. I want it to be the kind of coffee table that is real, and it's full of things that inspire me, things that remind me of places that we've been, maybe somewhere that we want to go, and it just intrigues me. And it's almost like a little, I don't know, like a little mental playground. I just love it. So right now I've got Simplicity, the book, sitting here and Chanel, the Vocabulary of Style. I've got, what is this? This is Karina Reufeldt's book. It is definitely very fashion driven. I have this really cool African bust thing, this little carving that's just so cool, and that just sits in here. And everybody always asks me about my little bust here. This guy, literally, I'm embarrassed to say, I decorated with him outside. He started out looking, you know, one color, and I decorated with him outside, and I forgot him in the rain. So I brought you guys in a little closer. I was like, oh, we're kind of far away from each other. Come in, come sit down on the sofa with me. Come hang out with me. So some of the other things that I have are this beautiful little incense holder. I don't actually burn incense that much in my house. These are handmade in Paris. And I've been to the little shop where they make them, and I've seen them being made in the back, and it just makes me feel like I've been somewhere when I look at it. We were just in Charleston, and they have this amazing candle shop, and it's called Candlefish. I didn't realize that this wasn't everywhere. I think because I saw it at Urban Outfitters and Anthropologie, I just assumed that this candle shop was everywhere, and as it turns out, it's a Charleston thing. I think it's got moss and lavender and leather, I think, in it. It's supposed to be the fragrance of Charleston, and I'm totally buying it. Some of my other fun little things that I have are this really cool little jack that came from Pottery Barn, actually. I've got these really cool coasters, which I found at Home Goods. I know, they reminded me of Morocco, and I loved them. Look at this cool striker. Look at this guy. Isn't he just the most amazing thing ever? I loved his little mohawk and his matches like this, and I actually ordered this off of Amazon. So, you know, it's just a mix of things. I've got that really great tray that I've talked about so many times. This is the one from Amazon. And then I have Travel Home, a beautiful coffee table book. And then Designer's Own Homes is a vintage book, and I just thought it was really inspiring to see how you could be inspired by designer's homes from, I think this was published maybe in the 80s, 1984. And this is one last little thing. This is actually from my godmother. She has passed away now, and this is one of the few things that I have of hers, and it's precious to me. It was handmade actually by an artist out in California, but I don't know who it is. So if anybody knows who makes these, let me know. And so it's just a collection of things. I think that's what your coffee table should be. I think your coffee table should be things that interest you, things that you want to look at, things that remind you of places you've been, places you want to go, and you know, serves as a place to put your coffee down. I just like to load mine up. And then on the sofa back here, I've got my Moroccan pillows. I've got some velvet back here. And I have the lacy ones from Pottery Barn. They came out with a new colorway, and I just had to have these. I've definitely been in more of a romantic mood. I don't know if it's because of Valentine's Day or knowing that spring is coming soon, but I just find myself craving these kinds of things that just feel a little bit sophisticated and romantic all at the same time. And then back behind here, I've actually got the console table, which was in the sunroom before, and I've moved it back here. You do not own this architectural book, just go buy it. It's Poetry of Place by McAlpine, and every single room, every home, every space, every story. I've literally been sitting here, right here, with my coffee by the fire, reading this book, reading the pages, looking through all the designs, and just feeding my soul. Finally, in this little area, I've got this fun little box that is full of just some prints that we've had from our travels. And look at how I've got all different kinds of things. I've got the, let's see, that's Amaliaborg, the Queen's Palace in Denmark. I've got a little bit of New York. I've got the church in Copenhagen that's really beautiful. There's more. I mean, there's so many. I think it's just fun. There's the drive between, that was between Switzerland and Austria. Wow. So, oh, and yeah, oh gosh, this is one of my favorites too. The Louvre. I always take pictures of the ceiling. It's, you know, it's like one of those things that you just miss. I love that I can display our photography in a way that's intriguing for us. This is really out for us, but if we did have guests, that maybe they might want to pick that up and lead through some of our photography and our pictures from our travels. So that's a fun way of putting them out. You guys know that I love to style my fireplace up very much like the French do. I love to use it as a shelf. I love the idea that the fireplace, the center of the home, is somewhere that we are constantly in contact with, and it's a part of our daily life. So I've got found this amazing little drawing. This is from Denmark. It's from one of the flea markets. It's old and it's just kind of perfect. It was from 1925. I have this, this is one of my favorite things that you guys are asking about a lot. These are amber rocks inside, and you pour the little essential oils over the top of them. And then you just, oh, it smells so good. You can just literally, I take the lid off and I just leave it open, and it fills the air as you walk by. It just fills the air with this really light figues noir. Oh my gosh, the fragrance is so good, you guys. This is not one of the cheapest things in my house, but it is quite possibly, it's one of my favorite things that I own. So I actually found this bust at the antique market. But the closest I can ever find is CB2 has one that looks almost identical. These are so Parisian looking, these long matches for the fireplace. I had to have them. The French just, like, a lot of times, at least a lot of the French homes that I've been in, they have matches that'll sit up here and just little things. And so I had to have them. I found these really cool brass geometric shapes at my local floor, not my local floors. Okay, so I found these at Pike Nurseries, which is where I go to get all my plants. Let's just say that, okay? And then I found this cool box. Oh my gosh, guys, this came from H&M Home. Oh my goodness. To me, this mix, it's not about price. It's about finding things that just spark that joy inside of you, that when you walk in, you're just like, oh, yes, yes, yes. This is mine, I live here, I love this. I've got this really cool little artsy piece. I think this is the one I actually found at Home Goods. And you guys are always asking me, what books do I have? Jacques Cousteau's Ocean World. Yeah, that one's really beautiful. I actually stole that from my parents' house. I mean, I didn't steal it. My dad gave me permission to take it. I'm not sure my mom would have given me permission though. That's why I always ask my dad. And then I've got A Denim Story. as well, and I just think that it's really interesting. It says, look at Marilyn Monroe. This is that little vase that I was telling you guys about in that floral video that's from Amazon. I've got a Ralph Lauren lamp and a painting that I made myself. And then I love to just keep baskets with blankets. This one's from Target, and the basket is from Pottery Barn. This is a vintage dresser that I found at an estate sale. I painted it. I have no idea. I think this is actually the same color as my kitchen. So this one is, what's my kitchen color? Nightclub. There it is. Nightclub by Bear. I've got this lamp that I found ages ago at IKEA, and I just liked it. I just thought it was so cool. And then I've got a printout that I got from Etsy, an art piece that I made. The Sonos is sitting here because my husband is obsessed with it and he has to have a location for it. And then of course I've got to have my African carving bust. I mean, oh my gosh, look at the detail. I found this one I found this one in a thrift store. I can't believe that someone gave that away. Clearly we don't sit here very often. This chair is sitting here for decor, people. It's just decor. It is a space filler. Great chairs, which I found at World Market. Got my beautiful lacy pillows from Pottery Barn sitting here, and the room just feels like us right now. It's just really nice to have this cozy space. So I just encourage you to display who you are, no matter what your budget is, and to look for things that just make that happiness inside of you come alive and give you that place of rest at the end of the day. That's the definition of home to me. Don't forget, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and share the video with friends and family. If you know of anybody who you think is like this, a kindred spirit that loves to decorate like that, make sure you share the video with them, and visit us on Instagram if you want to see what's going on when we are not on video on YouTube. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Cheers. Baby.
Hello.
Hi, what you doing?
Not much.
Hey, baby. I love you.
I love you too.